Okay, this is our part 2 of Jak and Daxter.
Yeah.
So, what do you have in mind?
Well, Jak and Daxter is more of is a bit tougher to explain than Ratchet and Clank or Sly Cooper.
Because
really, Ratchet and Clank and Sly Cooper are just evolving the formula that works for them. Jak and Daxter keeps trying something different all the time. Every game is essentially its own game.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jak and Daxter is not the same as Jak 2, which is not the same as Jak 3.
Mm-hmm.
Jak 3 is, I think, by far the best because it really has a lot more connections to Jak 1, and I think that was the major flaw of Jak 2. And there's a lot of, where marauders, those guys with the face masks and stuff?
Yeah.
The marauders are essentially, Jak 3's versions of the lurkers. And so, there's a lot more references to Jak 1, there's a lot more, connecting it, and I also think the mythology is a lot better in Jak 3.
Yeah.
Because that's what I think is... Because one of the best things about the Jak series is its sort of mythology. And it was really good to have that sort of take center stage in Jak 3.
Yeah. I liked it because, I liked Jak 3 because it had, a really interesting story. I liked it because... not as good as Jak 2, but it was still pretty good. I liked its platforming. Not the car platforming, though.
It was there.
What? What?
Whenever it was there and you weren't just driving all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, half of Jak 2 is just you driving around Haven City. I liked the mini games. It had a nice touch, like the Daxter Pac-Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that Jak 2 did better than Jak 3, I think it's that the mini games are more sort of combined with the platformer. You would have to platform over to the place where the mini game would be. And then you do it, and then you platform over to where another thing would be, with the turret mission in the strip mine.
Yeah.
It wasn't just run over to turret, fire it, and then you're done, which is kind of what Jak 3 does. So I think Jak 2 is better in that it still doesn't forget it's a platformer. I feel like Jak 3 sometimes forgets it's a platformer.
Yeah. Yeah, Jak 3 is really good. So, should we talk about Daxter, Jak X?
Alright, well, Jak X is essentially just driving missions from Jak 3. Because all of the mini-games in Jak X are essentially based on some sort of mission from Jak 3. The physics engine is better, but not by much. You will still flip over, and the AI is still broken, because people will still just, ram into you. And you'll be in this, stalemate for, 3 minutes. And, and the storyline really is one of those, it just ignores continuity all the time. Because it goes from being this, because Jak 3 is a game, Jak 3's story is about, saving the world and precursors and stuff like that. And then immediately following it, we have Jak X, which is about, gang warfare. So, that was kind of a bad point, I think.
Yeah, I've never played it before, so the storyline is, with crew?
Jak X's storyline feels a lot more in line with, Jak 2, where it was all about, gangs and, weapons dealers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Daxter is really awesome. In fact, that might be one of my favorites. I think Jak 3 and Daxter are my favorites.
Yeah.
Because Daxter is actually the one I think I have the most nostalgia with. I have a lot of nostalgia with Jak 1, but Daxter is to me, the most nostalgic one. And that game is just awesome, because it takes a lot of like the Daxter gameplay from like Jak 2 and 3, and it sort of combines it with how Jak works in the series. And you have this game that is very unique because it feels very much like you're playing as a weasel, or an ocelot rather. But it still feels like a Jak game. Everything is very smooth. There's no loading times. Great graphics. It was great.
Yeah.
And Lost Frontier is absolute crap, and I'm going to review that on my channel in a while. And that game is absolutely. And what's sad is that I think that one game might be the death of the series.
That's awful.
Might have killed it.
What I have to say about Jak X, Lost Frontier, and Daxter, I've never played any of them except for Daxter.
Yeah.
Which.
What do you think of Daxter?
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. It was like. I liked the bug thing. You have to like kill like all the bugs and stuff.
Yeah, and you have to like collect the gems and stuff for missions.
Yeah. It just reminded me a lot of the original Jak and Daxter. Then the Lost Frontier, he showed me a video of it. Looks like crap. And yeah, it's just a shame that they it might be the death of the series.
What?
It's a shame that it might be the death of the series.
Yeah, I think it killed it. I really think that Lost Frontier might have killed this series off. It was so horrible. And I think this really shows that Sony, one, does not care about this series anymore. Because if they cared, they would have given it to a developer that was good, and that could have actually handled it. And two, it shows that High Impact didn't care. So I really feel like this franchise is really just getting tossed around in order to make money. Because people are wanting a new one.
Yeah.
And people are just trying to squeeze more money out of this franchise. And with how bad The Lost Frontier was, it was so horrendous and awful. And there was so much backlash after it that there hasn't been another Jak game since. The only things that there have been has been like PlayStation Move Heroes, and
the Jak collection.
It's just been in crossover games.
Yeah.
I mean, Sly is getting a sequel on PS3. Ratchet and Clank has like 4 or 5 games on the PS3, and Jak still hasn't gotten his PS3 game.
No.
So I really think that Lost Frontier might have killed it.
Yeah. So. We're just about out of time. Just about out of time. So any last things?
We'll talk about Ratchet and Clank in the next part.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in Ratchet and Clank.